Hello friends, welcome back to our lecture series on flight dynamics. This is section 1 cruise flight performance. In today's video, we are going to go through drag polar. Now before coming to drag polar, let me just summarize what we went through in last few videos. In last few videos, we saw what are the drags on infinite wing. We saw that infinite wing or airfoil is none the same thing, and there are basically three types of drag acting on an infinite wing, which is pressure drag, skin friction drag and wave drag. The pressure and skin friction drag together are known as profile drag. Now coming to finite wing, when we talk about a finite wing or a real wing installed on an aircraft, there is one more additional drag in addition to the drags on infinite wing, which is known as induced drag. And in our previous videos, we understood what is induced drag, what is the formula for induced drag, and how it happens. Now, when we are talking about whole airplane, there are many more drags which are acting on full airplane, because now it is not just the wing. Now, full airplane, including tail, fuselage, landing gear, all these things are coming. So, all these things adds on to the drag part of the airplane. So when we are talking about full airplane, total drag coefficient on airplane is CD is equal to CDE plus CL square by pi AER. Now this is the induced drag thing. In our previous video we learned this is the formula for induced drag. So total drag is CD plus is equal to CDE plus CDI. This can be written as CDI. The total drag coefficient CD is equal to CDE plus CDI, where CD is the drag coefficient of the complete airplane. CL is the total lift coefficient, including small contribution from horizontal tail as well as fuselage. So this is our aircraft. Its tail is also contributing to some lift. Its fuselage might also be contributing to some lift. So CL is the total lift coefficient, not just the lift coefficient of the wing. And CDE is now the parasite drag. Now this is now known as parasite drag. The parasite drag doesn't only contains the profile drag of the wing, but it also contains profile drag of whole aircraft, like the tail surfaces, fuselage, engine nacelle, landing gear, or any other component which is contributing to the drag. There must be some skin friction going on. There must be some pressure drag or form drag for flow separation, a different angle of attacks. So all these things are taken into account, and if the aircraft is flying in that at transonic or supersonic speed, then wave drag is also taken into account in parasite drag. So parasite drag is the total drag acting on the aircraft excluding induced drag. So total drag acting on the aircraft is parasite drag plus induced drag. Now we may say that CDE is also a function of CL, since at different angle of attacks there will be a different form drag, like there will be flow separation on different parts of the aircraft, which becomes a function of CL. So I can write that CDE is equal to CD naught plus RCL square, where RCL square is basically telling that there is some function of CL in this, and CD naught is simply the drag which is independent of lift. So I can call the CD naught as drag independent of lift, or this is popularly known as zero lift drag. So now this equation is modified to CD is equal to CD naught plus R plus 1 upon pi AR E dash into CL square. What I have done is I have put in this value of CDE into this equation. So if I put this value of CDE into this equation, so total drag will be CD is equal to CD naught plus RCL square plus CL square by pi AER E dash. And now if I separate CL square, I will get CD is equal to CD naught plus R plus 1 upon pi AER E dash into CL square. Now we have chosen a value of E such that 1 upon pi AR E is equal to R plus 1 upon pi AR E dash, or I can write it as 1 upon E is equal to pi AR R plus 1 upon E. Now here E takes into account this R factor as well, and E is known as Ostwald's efficiency factor, which is named after W. Bailey Ostwald, who first gave this terminology in a NACA report in 1932. So E is now the Ostwald's efficiency factor, and previously where E dash was span efficiency factor. This was span efficiency factor, and now we have introduced E, which is known as Ostwald's efficiency factor. So this is the difference between E and E dash, and that is why we had been using E dash as span efficiency factor and not E, which is a common mistake you will find in most of the books. They do not use E dash, they will use E, and they will not take into account this factor. So after taking all this into account, the formula now reduces to CD is equal to CD naught plus KCL square, where K is 1 upon pi AR E. This is the value of K. K is equal to 1 upon pi AR E, where E is Oswald's efficiency factor and E is chosen in a way that 1 upon pi AR E is equal to R plus 1 upon pi AR E dash, where E dash was span efficiency factor. Now let us try to represent drag polar graphically. So if we plot a graph of drag polar, CD is on y-axis and CL on x-axis, this is how the drag polar would look like. So as can be seen from the equation, CD naught is the minimum drag. So this coordinate is CD naught. This is the minimum drag, and this equation basically represent the induced drag, although it has that part of parasite drag as well, which is dependent on angle of attack or CL. So this is the typical representation of drag polar. However, in books you will also find that cases drag polar is represented like this. This is because they have represented CD on x-axis and CL on y-axis. It hardly matters on which axis you are taking which coordinate, CD or CL. Now let us have a look at the drag polar of a real aircraft. We have some data for Lockheed C-141. For Lockheed C-141, this is how the drag polar looks like, and here we have taken CL on y-axis and CD on x-axis. So this is how the drag polar looks like. So if you observe carefully, here CD naught is not the minimum drag. Minimum drag is coming somewhere here. CD naught is coming out to be 0.017 at CL is equal to 0, and minimum value of the CD is coming out to be CD is equal to 0.015, where CL is equal to 0.16. So clearly we can see that CD naught is not the minimum CD, and minimum CD is coming at some positive CL value. This is happening because of the following reason. Generally we see that for a cambered airfoil, the alpha lift is equal to 0, that is the angle of attack at which lift is 0 is some negative angle. So if we fly at some negative angle of attack, we have some amount of form drag. So at negative angle of attacks, form drag will be a little more than the angle of attack where alpha is approximately equal to 0, and that is the reason why CD minimum is happening at some positive value and CD naught is actually a bit higher than the CD minimum. So this is the actual reason, but for most of the cases this value is very small. This difference is very small, so in most of the textbook we will take that CD is equal to CD naught plus KCL square. We will take this as the standard equation of the drag polar, and we will consider that this is the drag polar where this is CL, this is CD. Since the difference is very small, so this can be a reasonable approximation, but in case you are designing a real aircraft, then you cannot take this approximation and you must take these things into account. So this is for this video. I hope you like this video. In case you did like this video, please press the like button, subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to hit the bell icon. Thank you for watching Concepts Unexplained.